Hello beautiful people, and welcome to this YouTube channel. In this video I'll be showing you how to send emails using Node.js and a package called Nodemailer. This is a very simple thing to do with Node.js, but I feel that it's very important to use it in our application. One of the importance of email is that it can increase your interactivity with your customers or users. One scenario that you can use is when the customer is registered in your application. You can send them email to maybe welcome them into your application, or maybe you want them to activate their email, and so that you allow them to sign in into your application. I know these are the things that you have seen in so many applications, and here are some of the things that I want to show you. So if I open my inbox, that is my personal email inbox, you can see a lot of emails, and these emails mostly come from the services that I have subscribed to. And here is one of email that I sent from my backend from this application here that I have built. I will walk you through this application, and then you see how it works. So here are the emails that are being sent to me from the emails from the services that I have subscribed. So I just want you to see this application here that is that is for Sendit. It is called Sendit. It is a courier services application that I built using Angular and backend using Node.js and my Microsoft SQL Server. As you can see here, by my database, I'm running it on Docker container, and this is how the database for user looks like. So as you can see here, these are my users in database. So I just want to come here and sign up one of the users so that we send them an email to welcome them in our application. So this is the email that we'll be using to register, so that we see if we can get that email here. So let me register this user and the email here. Of course, I'm using my emails, that's why I can access my inbox, and then we can add our password here. So let's add our password here. And then let us register. So if we register, we are redirected back to our login page, but we are not going to look how we can sign in this application for now. This is something that I'm planning. I will just build this whole application full stack, made fronted by AngularJS and backend Node.js and MySQL Server, that is Microsoft SQL Server. So if this is an interesting thing you want to see, maybe you can just go into in subscription part and subscribe to this YouTube channel and hit the like button, so that we invite so many people to see these videos. So I just want to show you the database and the user that we have added. So you can see here in the bottom here, see this user already has been registered. If we go in our inbox, you can see the email that have been sent. This is an email sent by Nodemailer and Node.js from backend, and we are using a template engine, EJS, in Node.js. So to start with, I need you to do a couple of things before we start coding this application that will be a requirement for this video. So we just want you to go to the email that you'll be using to send these emails, and just come here and then go to manage account because we're needing something called app passwords. So we just come here security, and first of all you need to enable two-factor authentication. You just see it here, so I just want you to do all that before we start, and then we can just come here and generate one app password. So it will prompt you to sign in to verify it is you. So let us verify, and then we'll be generating our password here. So you can just come here and say something like you just need mail, and then just use Windows computer because it's the one that I'm using, and then I'll say just generate. You just click generate, and it will show you a password, and that password will be using it in our application. So maybe let me click, but I'm hesitant because of security issues, but let's see. So we just have this password here that is from your email. So if you have just finished doing that, now you can just get into the video and start using the node mailer to send our email. It's the only thing that you require to do in this whole application video. So we just show you how these applications work. This is our front end. This front end is Angular.js, and then we have background services, and here is where we are sending our emails. We are sending our emails every second. So as you can see here, we have already scheduled our email to run, or our application to run after every second. So it just goes to our database and see if there is a new user who has registered, and then it will send a welcome email to them. So another thing is now our backend. This is our part where, or this is the part where we are using, or the part that we are using to register our user and add them in our database. So this is like separate of concerns. If you have done software development, you know that, and this is one of the best practices that you can adopt in your coding culture. So this is something that will be great for you. I know that you learn a lot in this video, and you'll start using node mailer, or you just start sending notification to your users whenever they have registered to your application. This is an application that I'm planning to build in future using Angular.js as front end. Backend will be using node mailer, and then Nodejs and Microsoft SQL Server. And this is one of the videos that will make you pro in building full stack application, and we will be learning about best practices that you can use, how you can organize your file structures in Node.js, and I'm hoping that it will be great for you. If it sounds something that you would like to see, then you can turn on the notification button like this video, and then subscribe so that you'll be notified the next time I'll be uploading such videos. So this has already taken a lot of time, and now I just want to get into the video and start coding our application and see how it will just run and send an email. Started with our application here. So we start by creating this blank project here. So we just start by generating tsconfig file. So we just come here at our terminal and then do ts --init so that we can generate our tsconfig, as you can see here, and this one we'll be using it to configure how we want our folder structure to look like. So I just want to now start our npm or a node application here, and we accept everything by default. So let's do that. So npm init -y, we should generate package.json. So, and then we just start to install packages that we will be using in our application. So before that, you can just come here before it completes, or it has already completed. So we can just start by installing the application or the packages that we want to use. So just clear here and say npm install. First thing I want to install is .env express. You need to install EJS as template, and we want to add node mailer as another package, or that we can add it later. So let me add that, and we need node cron because we'll be scheduling these emails. And if you haven't seen the video that I did for scheduling task in Node.js, you can go back and see the video that I did for scheduling task in Node. So we just start by installing these packages. So we can just come here and start configuring our TS. So we just come here as usual and say we want our root directory to be dist, where it will be generating our src, where we'll be coding our TS. And then we can just uncomment this one also, module resolution, and then we look for out directory here. See, this is where our JS will be generated, JS code and file, because we'll be using TypeScript with Node.js. So if we have done that, we can just come here and start by creating those folders, dist, and then not like that, you need to add here src, as you can see there. So we need to create a .ignore file here, because we don't want to push some things in our GitHub. So we just do .gitignore, and then let's start by ignoring something like node modules. We will ignore .env, because that's where we put our passwords and our secret things. So we need to ignore that, and we want to ignore, is there anything that we want to ignore? Yes, dist. So we don't want to push this dist folder here, because it will be containing our JS files. So you can just come here and then create .env now, .env, and you can just come here and start maybe adding things that we don't want to somebody to see in our when we are pushing the code. So let's come here and start by creating the index.ts. Remember, we are using TypeScript. So here we can just import express from express here. So that's first thing. We need to import cron or .env from .env there, and all of this it is showing error because we need to install types. So another thing we want is cron, node cron. So we need to add cron from node cron here. So and it requires types too. So you just install them, you just hover over it and then copy these commands here. It's just to add types. So you can just come here and install it, and just come there and install. It should be complete by now because types are small package, or it are small packages. So we need to go here and install this one too, node cron here. So you can just copy and then paste here and then install it. As you can see here, the error has gone. You don't have error here. So you can continue coding. You can say const app is equals to express, and then it is a function. So we need then to say node.env in order to use the .env file. So .env config, just like that, and then we want us to start listening app.use.listen, and then we can say something like port, and then we have not created port, so you can just come here and say maybe const small const port is equals to process.env.port, and this one will add it in .env. So we just come here and say port is equals to maybe 5000. Let's give it 5000. So we just come here and then you can just see what is happening. So you can just come here and then say the second argument is callback function. And what do we want to do with our callback function? It should only print something in our terminal so that we know our server is running. So we need to say server, can just say template. So we can just say server is running on port, and then we can just add that to get the port number. So just like that, and then we should just run it and see what will happen. We just need to delete this one. Let's now run it. Before we run it, we need to compile. This code here from TypeScript to JavaScript, because we'll be running JavaScript, because Node.js will not understand if we run the TypeScript file, that is. So we need to clear first of all, and then say ts.-w, and this command will be watching our code and then generate the JavaScript. So just like that, it is compiling, and then it has 0 errors, meaning it is good to go. So this one, you have seen that it has already generated the index.js, and if you want to say the index.js, it is a weird JavaScript code, but we can just close it because we'll be coding in TypeScript. So we just need another terminal here, and then say like nodemon. I think I have already installed nodemon in globally, but we can just say something like npm install nodemon, then install this package just like that. You need to install it. Yes, just like that. And then we can just say nodemon this, because that's where our JavaScript file is. So in .js, and then let's see, it will compile, and you can see our server is running on port 5000. So we just come here in our code, and then you can just say something like const. This is a function that we want to call run, because it will be a schedule. It will just a scheduling function that will be looking at the time that we have scheduled, and then send the email. So we need that. So we can just say const, or just you can create a function just like this, and then function here. We can just do like this, or maybe we can just create an arrow function, maybe just like const run, and then just like this. It is all the same, but this is this is a modern way of doing things in modern JavaScript. So we need now to schedule here. So we just say cron.schedule, and then we can do something like these stars here, and this is we have already discussed in a later video. So if you haven't looked at our previous video, you can just go back and just see how to schedule tasks. So in this stars, it means that it should run like with no scheduling, but we can just come here and say something like 1 minute or 1 second, and then it will run after every 1 second. So we need to now run here, run our function here, or call it, and then as you can see, maybe let me print here so that we see what is happening. .log, then we can just say something like 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute there, just like that. Then let us see what is happening. So it will wait 1 minute, I think it is 1 minute, and then it will just print there in our console, but we won't maybe wait for it to just get to that 1 minute, because we have a lot to do in this video. So we just create another folder that is called helpers there, and then we have another function that we will call email service, and this is one will be having the logic to send the email. So let me say email service there as a folder. So this is the best way of organizing your files in your backend application when using Node.js. So we just come here and then maybe create another file, and this one should be for templates. I'll just show you what we put here, but for now we don't have to do anything with it. Let us just leave it blank. So if you come here in our terminal, it has not already printed, so I think it is 1 minute. So let me give those stars so that it just earn immediately with no scheduling. So I think it should schedule. Let me start it again. So I just say run, and then it should print in our console. So let's see where is the problem. So I can't figure it out where the mistake is, but it should be printing in our terminal. Let me see in our code here. Let me say cron run and then see what is missing in our code, so that it can just work. Oh, but it is printing, so I think it's okay. So after 1 minute or something, I don't know, it is acting weird, but let me continue with the video. So let's go back here and see what we can do in our helper function, and this will be like a function that will be helping us because we want to separate our concerns. So we just create a file here, and maybe we can call it something like send mail. So we can just come here and say something like send mail, and this function we want to use this function so that we can reuse it in our codes. So if we had a very big application, we could use this function everywhere we want. So let's say send mail and then .ts, just like that, and then we start coding. So we want to import some packages. We can just start by importing .env because we'll be using it here from .env there. And then another one is node mailer. You need to have node mailer because that one is the one that we'll be using here. So we need to just go and install it. So as you can see here in our usage, we can just copy it here, and you can just come and run about. You can just come here and look the documentation for npm. So we just copy and then just install it. You can just come here and install node mailer, and I'm thinking that node mailer needs types too, but we'll see that. So just like that, we need to install it. So we can just come here and say, actually I think I will just import it as the first one here, as the first package. So we say import .env node mailer from node mailer, just like that. Let's see, yeah, node mailer, and it should autocomplete for us. Node mailer, yeah, just like that. And it needs type, so we just hover over it and then copy this command here. So we just copy and then just come here in our terminal, and then let us paste here and install the types. No way, it has not copied yet. So we just come here and then copy it, and then we'll paste it. So let me come here and then let us save. So just like that, and then let it complete installing. And there's something that I want to just stop. You can just come here and then maybe stop this because it is running. It's already running in the background. So yeah, that is it. It should be complete. It should have completed installing the packages. So yeah, it has already completed, and as you can see, the error has gone. So we need to do something like .env.config, just like that. So from there, we need to create a transport. This is one of the requirements that node mailer needs us to do. So we just say function create transporter, and you'll see just how this one will be used. So don't worry, just continue watching the video. So we just give a type of any for now. So So we just do const transporter, because we are creating transporter here, and then just say node mailer, and then dot create transport there, and then we just receive this config there, just like that. And then the second would be command would to be return this transporter there, just like that. Now after this we need to do configurations, so we need to say configurations, just like that. And then we just say is a object that will contain some key values. So the first one is service. This service will be from Gmail, because I'm using an email of the Gmail, that is, I'm using a Gmail account to send my emails, but you can use just any email, maybe Outlook or something, but you can go to documentation and just learn about that. Now we need to do host. Host should have, it should contain SMTP, and then .gmail.com, because I'm using Gmail account. So another thing is port should be 587 there, and then the other thing is request TLS, request or require TLS, just like that, and then it should be true, just like that. And then the other thing is auth or authentication. Need to have auth here, and then it is another object, an object inside an object, and then we say user should be from process, because we don't want to display it here, so that we don't push it in github.email, just like that, or we can just use, I like to use capital, so you don't know what is happening there. So email, and then can just say password or pass, just like that, and then say process.env.password, just like that. And in this email and password, this is an email that we'll be using to send our email, and this password is the one that I showed you how you should get this password. It's not the password for your email, it is app password. And before this, I had already shown you how to get this password. So we just go to .env and add email here, just like that, the email that we'll be using. Another thing is password should be somewhere. So this password, I'll be getting it from somewhere in my earlier project. So just come here and go to my project, or I'll just add it later on. So let me first of all continue with the project. So we were just here, then after this we can just create another function to send the email. So we just say const send email or send mail, just like this, and then say it should be asynchronous, so it should be async, and then add now I'll start adding some things here. So we need to first of all receive an argument like message option, but I'll just show you what this is and say any. And before I forget, here we can just say, because we are using TypeScript, we can say a string, and we can just come here and say a string before I forget that. So we just now say const transporter, just like that, and then say something like await create transporter, this function there here above, and then it will get configurations, and as you can see, these are the configurations there, and then start by await, and then say something like transporter and dot verify, that method there, dot verify, call that method. And then another thing is will be saying await transporter dot send email, just like that. And then first of all we'll be requiring this message options there, and then say something like error, and the second argument should be a callback function. It will have error, and then info or data, that is. So just add like that, and then you can say if error just console log error, and say just console log error, and then if there is no error, then we can continue, and then say console dot log, and then you can see something like info dot response, because this one will give us our response. So just like that, and then we can just come down here and say export default send mail, just like that. That is okay. So now we have already created this function here, and to do a little bit of formatting, you can just right click and click this format document, just like that. So we need to go now here at our email service, and we want to say like this function will be for hello email. You can have a lot of emails here, so, and we'll be reusing our helper function called send mail. So we just say hello email. Let me use apps here, hello email dot ts. So we just by doing this, and then start by importing dot env from dot env, and then import send mail from helpers send email, just like that. And then we want to now get something, just send email here. We just create this function send email, and then or send email, just call it send hello email, then call send hello email, just like that. And then say maybe just by creating a template, and then we just send the email. So our templating, you need to do templating in Node.js, and if you come here, we have a full documentation showing you how you can use this templating stuff. So as you can see here, you can come here and read everything here, and you know what templating is, but in simple words, templating will help us send like HTML template. So we just come here and then copy this package and then install it here. So we just say npm install EJS, just like that, and we have already installed the EJS, so we need to import above here. So we say import EJS from EJS, just like that, and you can see it needs some types, so we need to hover over it and then copy this whole thing, just like that, and then come here and paste and then install types, so to eliminate this error. So just like that, it should be complete. It is not that big of a package. So before that, we can just continue, say EJS, just like that, and then render file, just like that, and then we need to say something like where the templates are, and we can see here our template is here it is just here in this folder, but we haven't added the file, so we just say templates, and then just say something like template, and then maybe we can add that one here. We can say something like hello.ejs, because it's an EJS file. So we just be there, and then we just say like hello EJS or hello.ejs, just like that. And then the other thing is, or the next argument should be, if we need to add something in our EJS, we can just say name, and I will show you what it means. So we can just say name, and this name we can just pass it here and just say name string. So we can just say name is equals to name, or you can just say name, or you can just say name, the same thing. So another command is callback. This callback here, and this callback should have two arguments, an error and info or data. Let's call this data. So we can just come here and say call that function there, but it should be async as well. So it should be async because it will need some response in the future. So from there we can now add some message options. So we can say let message option be equals to object, and this object should require from which this email is from, or from which email that is. We use process.env.email. As you can see down here we have this email, and then here another thing is to who. So we need to add who we want to send this email, and I will just email myself in another email. So we just say gmail.com, and then another thing is, and we can just put any email here, or just we can add email here so that it should be dynamic in some way, so that we add what we want just dynamically. So let's add email here, just like that, and then subject, if we have subject, maybe subject is something like the subject of the email. So we just need to say something, we can template so that it should be dynamic. We can say hello, and then the name. Yeah, can just say hello and then name, just like that. And then we can just say another option to be HTML or HTML, and this HTML should be the data from EJS. And another thing is, and that's why we are using async, because we'll be needing this data. So another thing is, if you want, it is an option, but you can add attachments. Now attachments can be a file, so we need to add that one. So you can just come there and add the first attachment. You can say file name to be parcel.txt there, and another argument or what we need to add is content, and the content should be maybe hello. Can just copy here, this one here, then copy and then send it, and then is just like this. So it should be just like that. And then the last thing that we want to do is now send this email. Now we can just say try catch, and then can just say need the send mail, this one here, this send mail on top here, can say send mail, and then we can give it now message option or message options. Can say I call it message options. It should be options, just like that, just like this. So message options, so I can just call it message options, just like that. And I don't know why it is not getting it, and it should be await, because it will send an email and wait in future. So it should be send mail. So it should be here, should be somewhere here. So we just say send email, and then if we have an error, you can just say console log and then say something like send email successfully there. So that's all. Now we need to send email, but before that we need to get the password. So we just come here, let me first of all get the password here at my email. These are my project. It was this for send it here, and then come here, and then in my backend, okay, in my mail, and then here, then just copy. Can just copy it. So we can just see maybe notepad. So we can just see email here. So you can just copy this password. If you don't have password, then you can just go first of all and create that password in your email or generate it. So you can just come here and replace it, just like that. And then we need to just go and send the email. But before that, we haven't added our EJS file or HTML code here. You can see I had already created this to make our video short. So this is just a normal HTML file. So you can just, or our normal HTML code. So you can just copy it and paste it here. So now if we want to add something in our EJS or receive argument, we can just say something like, we can add the name just here, it will receive it, and we can just say I had used this to send in that application, so that's why it is saying your parcel has been delivered. So we can just cut here, and then let's see how this will work. So yeah, you can just save that, and then we can just now come here at our cron tab, cron schedule, and then now call the function from email service. So we can say send email just like that, or you can just say send hello email. Yeah, this send hello email. So send hello email, and I think it's because I have not exported it yet, it is not showing it. So you can just come here and say export default, or you can just say export default send hello email, just like that. And then it is not working here. Okay, same expected. So you can just say maybe something like default, default, yeah, just like that. And then you can just come here, and then now you can use it. Should autocomplete for us. So hello email, and then it requires the first, which is we can add James maybe, and the second one is email. You can just say James email. So just like that, and then now we can just come here and run it just like that. So let's save this, and let's save this and see if it will work. So it should work. Don't see the reason it shouldn't work. So you need to come here and see what is happening. Yeah, so send email successful, just like that, and you should see email. So let's see if it has sent any email in our email. So just close this one, and then close this. Let's see if it has sent any email. Let's wait. It hasn't sent any email for now. I had done some mistakes here, and one of those mistakes was I imported this .env, but I didn't add this line of code here, .env.config, and without adding this line, my application couldn't find these emails like user from process.env.email, and also it couldn't find the password that is from our .env. Another thing that I had done some mistake is that I added this comma here, and I just had to remove it. So you can just come here and see what mistakes that I did. Now I just want us to run the program again and see how it will work. So let's come here and then start sending our emails. So if you come here at index.html, yes, you can just see that we are sending our name, and this function here is receiving our name and our email. So if you come here, this is the function that we are running. First of all, it is doing rendering of template that is in ejs.render file, and then it will just send the email down here. So if you come here, now it is scheduling our email. So after 1 minute it will send an email. After another 1 minute it sends the email, another email. So if you come here, you just see like if the email has been sent, and just like that, this is one of the email. And as you can see here, I've sent this email here: hello James, nice to meet you, so something of the sort. And if you wait another minute, another email will come, because this is something that is running after every 1 minute, and until you stop it, it won't stop sending the emails. So I just want you to see the second email, and then we can maybe change this name and email to see if it can send to another email. So let's see what will happen here. Let me see. So it should be sending now. So after 1 minute, let's see if it has sent any email here. Oh, down. Yeah, so this is the first email. So let's wait for the second email. Then we can maybe see what will happen. Let me see if it is still running. It is here, and don't know, maybe it got stuck something, because it has not printed on the console the response.info. So I think it's something, it has stuck somewhere. So let me repeat the process again. Yes, oh, it has sent. Let's see if it will be sending the second one. It got stuck in somewhere. Don't know why. So let's wait. Don't know why it is getting stuck, and my computer is overheating right now. So I think that might be the main thing, the main cause. So yeah, it has sent the second email right there. So this is the response.info that we printed, and here is the second email. Yeah, so you can just see that the first email, then the first email here, the first email here 3 minutes ago, and then 0 minutes ago. And if you wait a little bit, you will see another email. So this console here is something like an ID. It's just the response that we get when we send the email successfully. So it is just here in our email. Yeah, so this is the line that is responsible for that. This ID here, it is console log, and then response.info, and then it is printing this. As you can see, that email has been sent. So if you come here, you can just see the second email. Now you can just play with this this application and use it whenever you need to do something. So I'll stop the video there. If